The proceeding was sponsored by Holland America. It's time to take the cruise you've been dreaming of.
When was the last time you saw the world and felt that it, for once, revolved around you? When was the last time you watched an eagle fish for salmon, rode a glass-dome train, or saw a bear from your balcony? And when was the last time you witnessed Mother Nature recreating herself? Holland America. It's time.
Tonight on AMC, we celebrate Elvis Presley's birthday. He would have been 64 years old today, starting with Tickle Me, in which the King plays a singing rodeo star who has his hands full while working at an all-girl dude ranch. Then it's another episode of AMC's original series, Remember When? And Elvis returns as a Navy frogman searching for buried treasure, but naturally finding time for romance and songs in Easy Come, Easy Go. That's all tonight on AMC.
Longing for more romance in your life? You're in luck. Romance Classics is a new network dedicated to romance 24 hours a day. And every week, you can get a little taste of it here on AMC. Every Sunday, style guru Colin Cowie hosts a sneak peek of Romance Classics with movies and original shows that celebrate life as it should be. This Sunday, Noah Wiley, Jennifer Jason Leigh, Peter Berg, and Juliette Lewis star in Crooked Hearts. And see Colin Cowie's own show, Everyday Elegance. Sunday Romance Classics on AMC. This Sunday at 3:30.
Stay tuned as AMC's birthday tribute to Elvis Presley continues in a moment.
Coming up next on AMC, Elvis Presley stars as a singing rodeo star who has his hands full while working at an all-girl dude ranch in Tickle Me, co-starring Jocelyn Lane and Julie Adams. Next on AMC.
During the time that Elvis Presley was making all those movies and all that money for Paramount, Allied Artists was in the background watching the theaters fill up and all that money rolling in. Allied thought that if only they could make an Elvis Presley picture of their own, they might finally get out of the red and be able to keep making movies. So they sought a deal with the star through his manager, Colonel Tom Parker. Now, Parker and Allied Artists made a deal. As long as his star was well compensated, it was fine with the Colonel. But other elements had to be seen to in order to make the King happy, because he wasn't interested in working at the small studio. So arrangements were made with Paramount to shoot on their lot, with one of their key cinematographers, too. Of course, Allied Artists didn't have the same kind of money Paramount had, but even with half the money going to Elvis, they found ways to work within the budget that they did have, and still wind up with an Elvis Presley movie the way his fans love to see him. That's plenty of Elvis, plenty of songs, and plenty of close-ups of those gyrating hip movements that Ed Sullivan wouldn't allow on television. Here's Elvis Presley in Tickle Me. Most of this film was shot in front of painted backgrounds on Paramount sound stages, but some filming on location was necessary, as, for example, the car chase sequence that was in the film. That was shot in Palmdale, California, on Old Barrel Springs Road. So if you live in that neighborhood, you might remember the day. For the many musical numbers in the movie, Elvis was working with his usual band, and although no new songs were featured, the brief version you heard of I Feel That I've Known You Forever was unique to this film. Elvis never recorded it as he performed it here. Tickle Me was the 18th of Elvis's 33 films, and it was released in 1965 between Girl Happy and Harem Scarum. For American Movie Classics, I'm Bob Dorian.
Tonight on AMC, it's another episode of AMC's original series, Remember When? Then we say happy birthday to Elvis Presley with Easy Come, Easy Go, as Navy frogman Elvis searches for buried treasure, but naturally finds time for romance and songs. And Elvis gives a rare dramatic performance as a reformed outlaw who tries to escape from his old gang in the Western adventure, Charro. That's all tonight on AMC.
Let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat.
Saturday night, we endure long lines, crowded theaters, and outrageous ticket prices. Why?
I ain't accusing nobody of nothing.
Because we love the movies.
Yes,
Life is a banquet, and most poor suckers are starving to death. Now, come on, Agnes, live!
We love the chance to make believe for a few hours.
Being a fat narcissist isn't easy.
We can be a musketeer, holding a maiden in one arm, sword fighting with the other, and always finding time to stop for some refreshment. We can be a show-stopping chanteuse, belting out tunes, kicking up our heels, and the world be damned.
Well, hello.
Look who's here.
Dolly.
Or a star-crossed lover traveling to the end of the earth for one final kiss. These are the things Saturdays at the movies are made of, and AMC Saturday Classics takes us there, without the lines, without the pricey tickets, without the fake butter substitute. Imagine that.
Yeah, now. Are we all lit?
AMC Saturday Classics, every Saturday at 6 p.m. Eastern. This week, Islands in the Stream. If George C. Scott considers it one of his best, why shouldn't we?
I've been here all day, wanting to ask forgiveness of someone, wishing it all hadn't happened.
Based on Ernest Hemingway's final novel, the title role is perfectly tailored to Scott, who has always been known as a bit of a controversial recluse in his own right.
I love the sea. She's my home, my religion.
His anti-hero spirit brings all the bravado, passion, and redemption that Papa Hemingway himself would have loved. Islands in the Stream, appearing this week at 6 p.m. Eastern, only on AMC's Saturday Classics.
I know now there is no one thing that is true. It is all true.
AMC Behind the Screen.
He said, you're going to win the Oscar.
I really was scared that I would not be able to play it well enough.
It was just insane.
It's Hollywood like you've never seen.
Oh, yes, the mole was completely painted on.
Barbara Streisand, great talent, very difficult to work with.
Maybe as a teenager, I wasn't that delighted with reality.
The stars, the stories, the straight talk. AMC Behind the Screen. Sundays at 7:30 p.m. Eastern, only on AMC.
Well, I owe everything I've ever done in movies to live television. I learned everything. I mean, I learned the use of the camera. I learned how to work with actors. I started as a director at 24, and I directed over 140, 150 shows between the ages of 24 and 30. My cinematic style really comes out of, I think, the work I did on live television. And I learned to compose using extreme depth of focus, which is one person here in the foreground and another person in the background, both in focus. As I started to do movies, I got to know some of the directors whom I really revered, like George Stevens, Billy Wilder, William Wyler, Zinnemann, finally David Lean. And what I learned from those guys mainly was, sure, about cameras and about angles and about all that stuff. But what I learned most was to really stand by what you believe in. To really, if necessary, fight for it.
There are exactly 57 card-carrying members of the Communist Party in the Department of Defense at this time.
It is the first time, I think, that an American film kind of took on the whole McCarthy problem that we had in this country, which was the indiscriminate calling of people communists, and we attacked that. And it was just about 6 or 8 months after the end of the blacklist, so at the time it was rather a courageous thing to do. At that time, Frank Sinatra was probably the equivalent to Mel Gibson today. I was 32 at the time, and I was really a little bit intimidated by the fact that having to go toe-to-toe with Sinatra with the reputation that he had, you had to really suck it in a little bit. And he just couldn't have been nicer. directing a movie is not like painting a picture. I mean, you don't lock yourself in a garret somewhere and just paint. I mean, we, as movie directors, are dependent on so many people. We're dependent, first of all, on the writer, the producer, to give us the tools we need to make the movie. The actors, the choice of actors. And there are so many unknowns in directing a movie. I mean, if you thought about what could go wrong, I mean, you would just never get out of bed in the first place. What you have to do as a director is never lose track. Your eye constantly has to be on the prize. I mean, you have to realize that you may have to lose quite a few battles, but in the end, what you got to do is win the war. And winning the war is getting the picture on the screen that you originally envisioned getting on the screen. Well, I love making films. Also, it's quite honestly the only thing I'm any good at. And the only thing that I'm really comfortable doing is directing, making movies. And I'm so lucky, really. I'm one of the luckiest people I know, because I've been able to do, for quite a number of years, exactly what I really want to do. Now, how many people can say that?
See the best movies from your favorite directors. AMC's Director Showcase, Wednesdays, 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Pacific, only on AMC. Brought to you by the complete line of 1999 Lincoln automobiles. Lincoln, what a luxury car should be.
Coming up next on AMC, it's another episode of AMC's award-winning original series, Remember When? Next on AMC.
Hollywood and fashion. Call it a marriage of style and influence.
You can't help being inspired by something really beautiful that comes from the past.
Every Monday at 8, AMC's Hollywood Fashion Collection hits the wardrobe in search of the best-dressed movies of our time.
They're timeless in the sense that they're really works of art. They could stand by themselves. They were so beautiful.
In these movies, the clothes steal the show, and the real stars are the costume designers. After all, without Jean-Louis and Givenchy, there wouldn't be a Marilyn look or an Audrey look.
We keep bringing back the white halter dress that Marilyn Monroe wore in the 7-Year Itch when she stood over a subway grate.
And without Hollywood, the designs of Edith Head and Adrian may never have found their way off the fashion pages and into our closets.
All the manufacturers copied those dresses. They were all called the Lady Eve dress.
See how the clothes make the movie every Monday at 8 on Hollywood Fashion Collection. Next time, Hubert de Givenchy was first invited to Hollywood by Audrey Hepburn, beginning the most famous collaboration between designer and actor.
She had something extraordinary, you know.
Hepburn wore Givenchy in one gorgeous film after another, including Love in the Afternoon. Watch Givenchy's artistry come alive through his favorite muse and lifelong friend. Love in the Afternoon, Monday at 8 p.m. Eastern, only on AMC's Hollywood Fashion Collection.
I'll give you the bridal suite. All right, and about 3 brides.
Who wrote their best lines?
I would have sworn that Groucho was making up every word.
What went on behind the scenes?
We tried to shoot through things at the actors, and sometimes the actors objected in a pretty unsubtle way.
When is a movie more than a movie? When it's part of AMC's Hollywood, reel to reel. It's the movie experience made interactive. Here's how it works. Every Tuesday at 10, we show an original documentary that dives headfirst into movie history.
It was a bold step for Hollywood to do a film about race.
Listen, TJ. You listen to me, Shoeshine.
And gets to know the people overshadowed by their own stardom.
In the first 24 days of shooting, Monroe only showed up for work 13 times.
Sorry, George, but we can do it.
After you get the facts, stick around for a related movie and watch it like a true Hollywood insider. Want to go deeper? Just log on to our website. You'll get more inside stuff and connect with other movie lovers. First the facts, then the movie. Every Tuesday at 10 on Hollywood Reel to Reel.
Next time, investigating Tarzan. He's been played by 14 actors in over 40 films.
Every generation has its own Tarzan image.
When Vegas lifeguard Gordon Scott took over the Vine, 50s audiences were treated to a new kind of Tarzan.
We're trying to get back to the concept of Edgar Rice Burroughs' original idea.
See Gordon Scott playing Tarzan the way Mr. Burroughs would have wanted.
Death is never a pretty sight.
In Tarzan's Greatest Adventure. By the way, that's a young Sean Connery as the villain.
Amen to that.
Hollywood Reel to Reel, Tuesday at 10 p.m. Eastern, only on AMC.
For over a decade, AMC Magazine has shared your passion for great movies. Now, every month, AMC Magazine brings